Imagine taking a quiet afternoon walk with your dog only for an SUV you've never seen before to roll up behind you. Two strangers jump out in fake HOA vests, and suddenly they're demanding your dog or the necklace around your neck. One moment you're minding your business, and the next, you're staring down men who think they can take whatever they want simply because they showed up wearing a badge they printed at home. The late afternoon sun filtered through the oaks lining Pinecrest Lane as Clara Winslow stepped onto the sidewalk, Titan's leash wrapped comfortably in her hand. The Rottweiler trotted beside her with a proud, steady gait. This was their ritual, an unbothered walk through the neighborhood she'd lived in for over 40 years. The jewelry resting against her chest, a silver necklace from her late husband, glinted softly as she moved. The street was usually peaceful, but today something felt off. Titan's ears perked first, his steps slowed, his body tightened with alertness. Clara followed his gaze and noticed an SUV creeping behind them. Dark windows, matte black paint, and a magnetic decal slapped onto the side that read HOA Patrol Unit in bold white letters. Her brow furrowed. "There is no HOA on this street," she muttered. The SUV rolled to a stop. Two men stepped out wearing tactical-style vests labeled HOA Enforcement, badges clipped to their belts, and cheap radios buzzing static at their hips. They carried clipboards as if they mattered. "Afternoon, ma'am," the taller one said, his voice dripping with fake authority. "We're responding to a report of a dangerous animal violation." Clara blinked. "Excuse me?" The shorter one pointed at Titan. "This breed isn't allowed under HOA Regulation 75. You're in violation. The dog must be surrendered immediately, or you'll need to pay a fine." Titan growled, a low, rumbling threat. Clara held her ground. "This neighborhood doesn't have an HOA." The men exchanged smirks. "It does now," the tall one said. "We're the new enforcement unit, and your animal is a liability." "I'm not handing over my dog," she replied. "Well," the shorter man shrugged, "then it's an immediate penalty. Cash only. Right here, right now." "I'm not paying you anything." The tall one clicked his pen. "No cash? Fine. We can take collateral. That necklace you're wearing would cover your balance." Clara instinctively touched the chain. "You're not getting this." Have you ever had someone pull up out of nowhere and try to take what's yours, homontizio? What would you do if two so-called HOA cops tried to take your dog and rob you on your own street? Before we go further, what city or country are you watching from right now? Drop it in the comments. We love seeing where our viewers are tuning in from. And if you believe people who abuse fake authority should always be exposed, smash that like button and subscribe to Story Arc, because standing up to intimidation starts with telling stories like this one. The man stepped closer, invading her space. "Ma'am, either hand over the dog, pay the fine, or give us the you're wearing necklace. Those are your options." Titan growled louder. Clara stepped back. "You need to walk away." But the man didn't. He lunged for her necklace, and that was when Titan exploded forward. The man's fingers barely grazed Clara's necklace before Titan launched like a coiled spring released. The Rottweiler's roar tore through the quiet street as he slammed into the HOA enforcer with brutal force. The man hit the pavement hard, that his clipboard flying one way, his fake badge the other. Titan's teeth clamped onto his sleeve first, then his forearm, ripping fabric and skin as the man screamed in a panic he hadn't expected to feel today. "Get him off! Get him off me!" he howled, flailing helplessly. The second HOA cop froze, eyes wide, fear flooding his face. "Man, I'm not getting near that dog!" He's stumbling backward. Clara tightened her grip on the leash, steady but firm. "I warned you," she said, her voice cold and controlled. "You put your hands on me." The shorter enforcer glanced at his partner rolling on the ground and made the coward's choice instantly. He bolted. Sprinting back to the SUV, he fumbled with the door, dove inside, and peeled out of the driveway so fast the tires screeched and left black marks. He didn't look back, not even once. "Come back! Don't leave me!" The injured man screamed after him, but his partner was long gone, disappearing down the street like a guilty shadow. Titan stood over the attacker, growling with every breath, his body rigid and protective. The man tried kicking, but Titan snapped near his ankle, forcing him still. "You better stay down," Clara warned. "He knows when someone means harm. Call him off," the man cried, tears in his voice now. "You should have thought about that before you tried to rob me," she replied. Somewhere down the street, a door opened, then another. Neighbors peeked out with phones in hand as sirens began to wail in the distance. The sound grew louder, closer, until a police cruiser whipped onto the street and skidded to a stop. Officer Raylan Burke jumped out, hand on his holster. "Mrs. Winslow, you okay?" "I'm fine," she said calmly. "Titan protected me." Burke's eyes dropped to the man on the ground. Fake vest, fake badge, blood on his sleeve, bite marks clear as day. "Well," Burke muttered, kneeling beside him, "this looks like he bit off more than he could chew." The man groaned in pain. "Mrs. Winslow," Burke said, "have Titan release him." Clara nodded. "Titan, release." Instantly, Titan stepped back, still alert but obedient. Burke cuffed the wounded impersonator. "You're under arrest." Clara exhaled slowly. The storm had only begun. The police station buzzed with activity when Clara arrived, Titan resting safely at home after his heroic outburst. Officer Burke led her down the hallway, his expression tight with controlled frustration. "These fake HOA enforcers have been popping up in nearby counties," he explained, "extorting seniors, threatening people who don't know the law, seizing pets, but this is the first time they got violent." "They picked the wrong woman," Clara replied calmly. Burke opened an interview room door. Inside sat the injured HOA impersonator, his arm wrapped, his sleeve torn, and his arrogance gone. He looked much smaller than he had on the street. Clara took the seat across from him. "So," she said evenly, "you threaten people for a living?" The man scoffed weakly. "Look, we weren't trying to hurt you. It was just a fine." "You reached for my necklace," Clara cut in. "That wasn't a fine. That was robbery." He shifted uncomfortably. "My partner said you wouldn't fight back, said you were just some old lady walking a dog." "And you believed him?" His eyes dropped. "We thought no one would care." Clara leaned forward. "Well, someone cared. Titan cared, and now the police care. And next, the judge will care." Officer Burke entered then, holding a clipboard. "Mrs. Winslow, we traced their vehicle. Your man here gave us the partner's name, Brent Mallory. He ditched the SUV and is still on the run." "He won't get far," Clara said. Burke nodded. "We hope so, but be careful. If he knows the first arrest failed, he may be hiding out nearby." Later that afternoon, Clara decided to clear her mind with a short walk through Evergreen Ridge Park. The crisp air settled her nerves. Children played in the distance, birds scattered across the trees. For the first time since the attack, she felt her heart ease. But Titan wasn't with her this time, and that was the mistake. Near the tree line, something shifted. A figure. A man crouched behind a row of bushes, hoodie pulled low over his face. Clara's breath stalled. She recognized the build instantly. Brent Mallory, the HOA runner. He froze when their eyes met. Then he ran. Clara didn't panic. Instead, she reached calmly into her purse, pulling out her phone. "Officer Burke," she said as soon as he answered, her voice steady. "I've found the second suspect." Within minutes, sirens grew louder. Officers swarmed the trees. Mallory tried to sprint through the brush but tripped, collapsing in defeat as officers closed in. Both impersonators were now in custody. Clara exhaled. The next battle would be in court. The courtroom was packed, but Clara didn't flinch. She walked in with her shoulders straight, her necklace resting proudly where the fake HOA cops had tried to rip it away. At the defense table sat the two men, one with a bandaged arm, one looking like he hadn't slept in days. Their fake badges and vests were now boxed evidence on the prosecution's table. Judge Helena Price entered. "We're here for the trial of Brent Mallory and Reed Holloway, charged with impersonating HOA officers, attempted robbery, intimidation, and assault." Jessica Caro rose immediately. "Your Honor, this case is simple. These men targeted an elderly woman, tried to seize her dog illegally, demanded an on-the-spot fine, and when she refused, attempted to steal her necklace. They thought she was vulnerable. They were wrong." No theatrics, no dragging. She played the footage, the SUV creeping behind Clara, the men stepping out, their intimidation, the reach for the necklace, and Titan's explosive defense. The courtroom gasped. The judge didn't blink. Clara took the stand next. "They told me Titan violated rules that don't exist," she said plainly. "They demanded cash. When I refused, they went for my necklace. Everything else happened because they crossed a line they shouldn't have." Short, direct, unshakable. The defense tried weak excuses, misunderstanding, overreaction, miscommunication, but every lie crumbled when the prosecutor called the second impersonator, Brent Mallory, to testify. He had agreed to cooperate for a lighter sentence. He didn't sugarcoat a thing. Yeah, we targeted her, he said. We thought she'd be easy. We planned to take whatever we could. It wasn't about rules, it was money. That's it. That was the nail in the coffin. The jury returned in less than an hour. Guilty on all charges. Judge Price didn't waste a second. Reed Holloway, for initiating physical contact, attempting to seize property, and impersonating an authority figure, you are sentenced to 14 years. Holloway's jaw dropped. Clara didn't look at him. Brent Mallory, for participating in the scheme and fleeing the scene, you are sentenced to 10 years with eligibility for parole after 5. Mallory nodded weakly, already defeated. The gavel slammed. Court adjourned. Outside, sunlight hit Clara's face. Justice wasn't dramatic. It was simple. Wrong done, wrong answered. Supporters gathered near her, offering quiet respect. When she reached home, Titan barreled toward her, tail wagging. She knelt, hugged him tight, and whispered, "It's over, boy. We won." They walked back inside, safe, calm, and finally free. If you believe fake authority should never win, hit that like button and subscribe to Story Arc.